Super Dave here for another review. Super Dave here with another exciting review. Let's check out a Superman today. That's right, the Mcfarlane's brand new 7-inch scale Superman line with other DC figures. But here's the one I'm excited about. I am a Superman fan. This Superman is what started me in collecting many years ago as a child. Of course, I was a He-Man fan, G.I. Joe fan, and loved those kinds of action figures, but I never straight away from Superman. He's always been my favorite. It's probably what keeps me a DC fan, even though, and of course I like Thundercats, but it's what keeps me a DC fan even amongst all the amazing Marvel movies, which they've won me over on that side. But I love Superman still. So just heads up, I have a bias towards Superman, so I'm not going to be one of these that rave over the Batman or even buy the Batman. So you have to check out another channel for that review. But I am going to check this guy out. Just from the pictures that I've seen on Instagram, he is just a phenomenal figure. You see there, it says Superman Action Comics number 1000 there. Just a window in the top. There's Superman on the side, just some legalese. But check out this artwork from the Action Comics. That is really cool. I love that picture. And then there's some other selling points that go along with other series in the line. There's the kind of like the animated series version, which they have him. Not a big fan of that, even though I enjoyed some of that when I was younger. But this is the dude I'm excited about, that armored Superman. Can't wait to get him when I can find him as well. I was tickled to find this guy at my local Walmart and had to pick him up because I was looking forward to finding him and doing a review. So let's break him open and check him out. All right, here's our Superman out of the package, and just messing with him out of the box, I've already discovered a few issues, which some have been already discussed on some other reviews, but I want to check out some of these things because, you know, I've seen some really good poses, some good photos on Instagram of this guy, so I know he can do it. So I'm excited checking that out for myself. Let's just take a quick look at his accessories. First of all, Superman comes with this nice fisted hand, and that's the only fist though that he comes with. So that's a little disappointing, but he does come, of course he comes packed with these relaxed hands, but then the second alternate hand that he has is almost this trigger finger type hand. It could be possibly a grabbing hand or grappling hand, but more looks like a trigger finger. I mean, bullets bounce off him and he doesn't have need for bullets. But anyway, maybe for lasers with that, you know, armored Superman that that Mcfarlane has released also. But anyway, there's his accessories as far as hands. Then he comes with this nice glossy photo-like laminated card of that same graphic we saw on the back, which is really nice, from the Action Comics. And this is thicker than cardstock, and it has a lamination. And then there is a bio that also goes along with this figure that is displayed here on the back. So if you want to read that, there it is. And also our Superman comes with this really nice, and it was smart for Mcfarlane to pack this. What else does a Superman need in accessories but a flight stand? He's got a peg on that stand so that he could also stand if that's what you desire. But then he's also got this flight stand which has some really nice ratcheted joints where it'll go up and down, and then the claw type waist hug that will go that will close and open. So that's a really nice flight stand. Let's go check him out over there as we compare him to some of the other Supermen that are in my collection, and we'll be looking at his articulation and just check out some photos as well. See you over in the review booth. So here is our Superman. Went ahead and posed him a little bit here on the flight stand, and you see how he measures up with some of the other Supermen in my collection. I have some other nice ones that are certainly here, and love these guys, and I was kind of looking and hopeful that this Mcfarlane kind of fix some of the issues and improve some of the articulation of what I have been able to enjoy on some of my other Superman figures. And I will say that they did add some things, but some things I still feel lacking. So I want to check him out. Now, the latest Superman that I have added to my collection before this Mcfarlane was the NECA Toys 2-pack Superman versus Alien back there. And I didn't like the way they did his articulation in his ab crunch feature. He also had some very tight joints, and there was the absence of the butterfly joint. Mcfarlane has corrected that by giving us a butterfly joint, and so we'll be looking to see how that operates and check that out. And they also corrected the issue with the ab crunch. Instead of there being a joint and a peg hole, kind of like over here on his side there, that allows for that bending motion, our Superman here has that ball jointed rib cage torso rotation ability. So we'll see how that works. Same was true of this DC Essentials Superman back there, which was the one I had before that. But one of the things that they do well on that particular figure, they did give us double jointed elbows, which I appreciate that. Don't understand why Batman got double jointed elbows, but the Mcfarlane Superman did not. But anyway, let's check out his articulation, and then we'll be looking at the comparisons a little bit closer. All right, so let's start off with the head. Our Mcfarlane Superman can look up about that much till his head kind of gets in, his hair kind of gets in the way. There's no articulation of this neck joint, which I kind of miss, because in some of the Fortnite figures they did allow there to be a neck joint in some of the Fortnite figures where they were able to articulate in the neck and the head. So that could have improved the range of motion there. That was a miss, but he can look up about that much and then look down quite a bit. That's a good range of motion going down, and he does have some nice tilting motion, so you can get some expressions, of course, side to side, and mine's a little tight. You do have a ball peg there, of course. This cape, let's go ahead and get that out of the way, is a rubber cape, and it's very nicely posed, but that's it. That's all you're going to be able to do with it. Whereas, like many others have said, if there had been a wired cloth cape, you could get a lot more poses out of that. That's glued to the back. I love the way that looks where it comes off his shoulders. That's looking nice. And of course, you have to love this S on his chest. That metallic paint contrasted with the flat yellow, and just the way that pops, and the width of it, the breadth of it. I just love that. That's been a big selling point for this guy, and probably one of the most popular points that he has going for him, and I really like that as far as his aesthetics. All right, we'll take him off this peg base here just for a moment, and let's go ahead to his arms. Of course, he can go up about that much, and these joints are ratcheted and are very tight, and you can go ahead and see how he's got an up and down joint there in that butterfly, as well as a back and forth in that butterfly joint there. Of course, bicep swivel, single jointed elbows, which those elbows do look good. And then he's got a ball joint on his wrist, and these hands do pop off very easily. There's a large peg, nice hole there, and they come on and off, and that's a left-handed fist. I mistakenly said right hand earlier in the opening. Okay, and there's another butterfly joint, and it also shifts up and down. Bicep swivel, good range of motion. Of course, he'll get 360, single jointed elbow, and of course another ball joint and hinged wrist. So that's really nice to be able to get a lot of poses out of those arms. And there you have it. Now, this is what I like about this character in conjunction, or in comparison to, let's say, this guy right here, which was the NECA. Now, I love this NECA figure. I love the ability to pose the head a lot on this guy, and I've got a review of him if you want to check him out on my channel. And I really like this figure, especially his double jointed elbows as well that this guy had. Legs, really cut legs. This guy has a little bit, kind of almost like thinner legs, less muscular legs, which is fine. It looks fine. He matches. He's got muscular upper body, but it's like he's a little thinner in the legs, whereas this guy is a beast all around, a little bit more in context with what you picture as a muscular Superman. But what I was going to complain about on this one is the way they did this ab crunch. It just didn't look good to me, and so they fixed that on this Mcfarlane Superman, which I am very appreciative that they did. Even this DC Essential, the same issue. I love the fact that he's very posable, but you see this ugly peg here I was mentioning earlier, and just the ab crunch. I mean, it just looks very disjointed, very smooth there, lack of ab definition, and I don't know. I appreciate having a little bit more seamlessness. It doesn't have to be seamless, but I appreciate the seamlessness and the function of this rib cage ball joint, where he's able to go back, not a tremendous amount, but he's able to go back some, and then he's able to go forward with the help of that ball joint in the waist as well, quite a bit. But look at that. I mean, that is just phenomenal. I like that range of motion right there. That's one of the things that we appreciate, and the fact that it's just well hidden. You've got kind of a natural organic rib cage going on. You've got the muscularity. You've got some of the ribs showing there. So through the clothes, the clothes are, you can tell that this is clothes that are stretching tight over the muscularity. So just really good job there. These trunks are kind of a soft rubber, and so that is nice, and it's flat, and it doesn't hinder anything. Now here's where you get into some problems. Now this one has popped off with me already, just trying to do, you get very little thigh rotation there. You should be able to get a little better than that, I believe, and you can only go up about that much without twisting it. And see there, it popped off for mine, which it pops back on very easily, but it pops off very easily also. This side did not do that, or has it so far, but you can kind of rotate that up, and that's about as much of a kick up as you get, and then you can get back quite a bit, and you can see that goes really that goes very well back with a double jointed knee. So that's excellent. But you're just going to have to be careful about your front posing on these legs. They just don't do very good, but you do have that nice double jointed knee. And then moving right along to the feet, you can see that Mcfarlane's known for the ball joint, so it goes back and forward. You have a toe hinge, and you have the ability to get some rockers on the side as well. If you adjust that just right, you can get the ankle rockers. So you can definitely, we're definitely going to be able to get some good poses out of this character, and so we're excited about that. But it's just, again, and I know it may be too much to ask, but especially with a $20 price point, you can't really complain too bad on what you are able to do pose-wise with this action figure. I think he looks really nice. He moves very organically, and I just appreciate his overall look, his aesthetics, and his Superman S symbol, the way they did the rib cage. Could have appreciated some double jointed elbows if they could have made them look as nice as this DC Essentials here, or even the NECA Superman. But and it would have been nice to have provided us a cape, just like with this one. You can have it folded nicely in the back, or you can have it draped over. And another thing that we're missing, and I got some grass on there from my staging here, but another thing we're missing is the S on the back of the cape, which the NECA does have, but this one is missing. There's no S on the back. So, but that may be going, along more with the Action Comics. Maybe that in that series they did not have the S on the back there. So there you have it. You have the Mcfarlane's first wave of DC themed figures, and here's your offering of Superman. And that's going to be your big standard setter, is your big players, your heavy hitters like Superman and Batman. And Batman has some really good reviews out there, but he has some of the same issues with the legs, the thigh especially, but he does have double jointed elbows. He has the same kind of butterfly type joints in the arms, which is nice. I like that because that's going to give us some added features there as well. So like, comment, subscribe, share, let us know what you think. But he's definitely going to rank up there with one of my favorite Superman figures. especially because of the way they were able to do the diaphragm area. Got the butterfly joints and the nice wrists that are hidden with the little chevrons there. They kind of push in, so you know it kind of hides that. So there's a lot going for this guy. I like the way they did just about everything except for his legs. They could have added a little bit more in the neck area as far as looking up to get some true flight poses. You know, because you can't really go back too much, and then you can't go back that much there, so you're not going to be able to get, you know, you can adjust it, but you're not going to be able to get the flying poses that we were able to get. And this guy suffered from the same thing. And this guy did too. It's hard to get a Superman these days, for whatever reason, that you can actually, you know, make his head look up high enough to get some flight poses. But that's about as far as you're going to be able to get with this guy. And certainly going to be able to get some. Just not gonna, that's about as far up as he's gonna be able to look. So you see what we're dealing with there. I just love the way those abs show through the clothes. Instead of it just being chiseled out, it looks like the clothes are, you know, looks like the clothes are stretched over those abs. That looks really nice. You can even see some detail up underneath here and some texturing there. That's really nice. So again, that's my favorite aspect, I believe, of this Superman, is the way they did his torso and midsection. It just looks really good. All right, so there he is. There you have it. There's your Mcfarlane Superman, part 1 anyway. It's going to be exciting to review that one that's in the battle armor. But here we have our classic look. And I would really love for Mcfarlane, if anybody has any influence out there, I'd really love for them to do a very poseable, articulated, new 52 outfit of Superman. I love this guy, I love his look, but he has almost zero articulation. He does have bicep swivel and elbows and knees, but that's about it. Just back and forth head, one bend at the knee, and those legs are very stiff. So, and you have no ab or waist ability to pose at all. So would love to have a Mcfarlane version of this guy in the new 52 suit. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of it. I do like the new 52 suit. I like the classical one. I like the you know, Man of Steel Henry Cavill one, which is represented here, and you can't really see him as well. I've got him represented right there. It's more of the Henry Cavill look of a Superman, but I would love to have a very highly articulated and more poseable new 52 suit. So that's just me. Tell me what you think. But I just love, I think Mcfarlane has done overall a great job here. So I'm tickled over that, and check you on the flip side. We'll do some poses, and we'll talk with you soon. Be blessed.